Today, I'm going to tell you about the top 5 best fruits in every Sea and Blocks fruits. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or if this video helps you out, hit that like button, subscribe, comment what your favorite devil fruit and blocks fruit is, and let's get right into the video. Also, if you want to be in any of my videos in the future, all you guys have to do is hit that like button, subscribe, and comment what your favorite part of the video was, and join my Discord. Alright, so as you guys can see, we're on the Noob Island indeed, where all the noobs reside, and we're going to be starting this off with the first fruit of the first sea, which is going to be light. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on this because you guys should already know how good light is for the first sea. Just because light, let's be real here, it does lots of damage. Even in its unawakened form, it's really, really good. Not to mention the fact that it has massive AoEs. It even allows you to M1 people. You dodge M1s, which is really good for the first sea, and you could also M1 people with your blocks fruit stat. And I know some of you guys are going, oh, that's not important at all. Who even cares about that? Just put your points into sword. But it is very important because there are a limited amount of stat resets you can do in the game. So being able to use your blocks fruit, dodge attacks, and also being able to melee people at the same time is insanely important for a first sea fruit. It's probably one of the best possible things for a first sea fruit, and light is by far the best fruit for the first sea. Now, I'd also like to mention that light also has insanely good traveling capabilities, with being one of the single fastest fruits in the game. And I'm sure you guys already know how important that is, especially in the first sea, because these islands, oh my gosh, the traveling you're gonna do in the first sea is gonna be unmatched. You're gonna be bored out of your mind. You're gonna be snoozing, sleeping on your keyboard, smacking your face off the WASD, and overall just getting bored, because the first sea of blocks fruit, it sucks butt. It is terrible, it is horrid, and having a fruit that'll travel from sea to sea very quickly will make things significantly easier. Not to mention the fact that you could just dip over here to the blocks fruit gacha sometimes, and he's not even named blocks fruit dealer here, and just buy your fruit sometimes. You're like, oh, it's got a spin fruit, I don't want that, it's some doo-doo fruit right there. Then you could just give it to someone, you know? But yeah, I think this goes without saying how good light fruit is in the first sea. This is going to be the one I talk about the most in the first sea, because I definitely think this is by far the best. The rest of them, I'm kind of just gonna glance by them because they're not nearly as good as light, and I'm just gonna say their overall best qualities. All right, so the second fruit of the first sea is gonna be flame. I'm not gonna talk about this that much because, like I said before, you're not really going to use these over light, but you guys may be surprised flame is here. It's a pretty decent AoE, you know, fruit in the game that allows you to grind. It allows you to travel somewhat quickly. It's not fast, it's not nearly as fast as what you need it to be, but it's not bad, you know. It's definitely not a bad grinding fruit, and you could get much worse with it not being a common fruit. Next up is going to be Mr. Smoky Boy himself. As you guys probably noticed by now, almost all of these so far have been Logias, just because, you know, obviously you could dodge M1s. It's really, really good to be able to dodge M1s, and Smoke actually does a decent amount of damage. Now, this goes without saying that Buddha was going to be here. Buddha obviously is the single best grinding fruit in the game, and in the first it'll allow you to PvP quite decently, while also just overall just being a pretty decent fruit in general, because even the abilities themselves are not that bad, all things considered. And then last but not least, for the first sea is going to be the amazing magma fruit. This is the fruit I actually used myself to level up. This Z ability is absolutely absurd for boss fights, and bosses are going to be the fastest way to level up in the first sea in general. Not to mention the fact that all of the other magma abilities as well do a lot of damage. And you do actually have access to a lot of different versatility by using magma. I mean, like, look at this. Look at these boys dying. I know this is the awakened version of magma, but, like, even with the unawakened version, you're going to be smacking some booty cheeks left and right, and magma is going to be your go-to fruit for that. Not to mention the fact that its high DPS will actually allow you to PvP somewhat, and it can be useful in the first sea, because a lot of people were very mean, and they pick on noobs. Like, who wants to pick on Luffy? I totally don't. Alright, so now that we're in the second sea, we're going to be starting off with the second sea top 5. Starting off with the Buddha fruit. I mean, like, what else did you guys expect? Buddha is absolutely amazing pretty much in every single sea. Though the first sea is kind of bad, all things considered. Oh, dude, look, I can't even hit this guy. Let me turn on my hockey real quick. Get punched in the face. Boy just got clapped, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, as I was saying, Buddha fruit is absolutely amazing. It also allows you to travel places somewhat quicker, because you do actually get longer boosts and better jumps in Buddha, which can be quite good. And also in the second sea, which is the reason why Buddha is going to be ranked #1, is the ability to awaken it. So with the awakened Buddha, you get damage resistance, which is absolutely amazing. And there's not really much else to say about Buddha. It's a very boring fruit, but it's very good. Now, coming in second place for the second sea is going to be Magma. As you guys can see, Magma, I mean, not only is it really good for Sea Beast, which is what you'll be doing a lot in the second seed to actually get a lot of money. Sea Beast hunting is by far one of the best ways to get money in the game. And Magma Fruit is actually one of the best, if not the best, for Sea Beast hunting. Now, other than that, Magma is also pretty good for NPC grinding as well. I also use Magma in the second seed, so I'm kind of biased towards it. But Magma just has such high damage output, and you can also awaken it now, which can be a huge boost to your overall damage output. Now, this goes without saying, because Light was really high in the previous one. Light is also going to be insanely high in this one as well. Like I said, all the same things apply with the M1s and things like that. The reason why Light is going to be ranked slightly lower is just because it starts the awakened version. I will say that it's like, in some cases, the unawakened version is actually better, but it is worth mentioning that Light also still is insanely fast. You still have all these really good abilities in the awakened version. It's that there are a couple fruits that are slightly better awakened, but Light still holds its own. Now, one of my personal favorite fruits is actually going to be the Spirit Fruit, which I will be including in this. Now, Spirit, first of all, you can summon a bunch of NPCs to actually help you grind, but the main reason why Spirit's going to be here is because you're going to mainly be doing law raids. Now, you may be asking, oh, how does that have to do with Spirit? Spirit is by far one of the highest damage fruits in the actual game, and even though the cooldowns are quite long, being able to take out bosses by just pressing a V button like this, like boom, and then you pretty much just spam all the rest of the abilities, it obviously is a huge boon. Not to mention the fact that you could do this, and like, it's just a really good fruit. I also find it one of the most fun fruits to actually use in the game, just because the raw damage output is so fun. But yeah, Spirit Fruit for the win, man. Now, next up in the C2, as you guys can see, I am the Blizzard main, so I'm going to be putting in my favorite fruit here, Blizzard. This fruit, I feel like it's simultaneously underrated and overrated at the same time. This fruit, really amazing for factory grinding. It's only outmatched by Venom for factory grinding. In some cases, it's actually better depending on your build. But Blizzard, oh my gosh. I could rant on for days about Blizzard, man. I'm such a Blizzard fanboy. But yeah, Blizzard does have really good grinding capabilities, with the actual last ability being a huge AoE ability, combined with the fact that the other abilities do allow you to do more damage output while staying away from the NPCs. And Tornado Flight is really good for grinding. As you guys can see, I am above this NPC. Nothing you can do about it. You can just group up a bunch of them and do this over and over again. Now, like I said, it's also worth mentioning that Blizzard is an insanely good combo fruit for PvP. Because as you guys can see, this guy is right there, and then you can just combo him with 2 Ken breaks. Oh my gosh, Blizzard Fruit is amazing. All right, so we are in the third sea, and quite frankly, I want to start this off with the Portal Fruit. Now, Portal Fruit, let's be real here, it is not good for grinding at all. The damage output is terrible for grinding. It is a PvP-based fruit. Even though PvP is, you're going to be doing a lot of PvP in C3, but I'm just going to be quite frank, I do actually think that Portal should be #1 just because of this. Look at this. Huh, I'm going to go to Cake Land, and now I'm in Cake Land. I can get all the cake I want, you know what I'm saying? It's just really good for traveling. There's not really much else to say other than that. The seas are so spread apart in the third sea that Portal Fruit would make your life a lot better. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a C3 tier list without including Buddha. Let me turn on my hockey real quick for that damage output. Buddha, by far, is going to be your best friend in the third sea, especially for getting things like God Human. Very important fighting style to get if you're actually going to be doing any type of PvP content. E-Claw can be fine, but God Human is obviously where it's at. Now, it's worth mentioning that Buddha Fruit does kind of start to decline after you're done grinding. So this is just mainly meant for when you're grinding. After you're done grinding, I recommend you switch to other fruits for PvP, because otherwise you're going to be a big fat Buddha nerd. And before you go comment, hey, we use Buddha, we are big fat nerds. Listen, man, it's okay to use a fruit like Buddha for PvP. You just have to accept that sometimes the nerd just gets the best of you. And in the case, if you use Buddha for PvP, you are a nerd. But that's okay, because nerds play Blox Fruits and Blox Fruits play us, you know what I'm saying? The next up's going to be the Dough Fruit. Now, the Dough Fruit, in all honesty, is mainly here for PvP reasons. It also allows you to escape PvP situations quite quickly. It isn't that good for grinding, all things considered. Someone got mad at me before because I was like, oh, you could use Dough for grinding. I meant boss fighting. It can be a pretty good boss fighting fruit, which you actually will be doing a lot in the third sea, because bosses are how you get a lot of the different items. But other than boss fighting, for normal grinding, as you guys can see, it is very lackluster, and quite frankly, it is mainly for PvP that it's going to be on this actual tier list. Now, I'm going to sneak this in here. The last on the list is actually going to be Magma. I'm sneaking Magma in here just because me loved the Magma fruit. Magma is so fun to use. It's really good in general. I feel like it's one of the most underrated fruits in the game, in all honesty, and you guys may be surprised hearing that, but you almost see no people using Magma, like, ever. The unmatched potential with Sea Beast grinding combined with the absolute unmatched DPS output. Oh, I'm about to die. Die already! Look at this. They're wallowing in their despair. But yeah, I just had to put Magma here because of personal bias in all honesty, but Magma is still a really, really good fruit going into the 3rd sea. Now, next up in the 3rd sea is gonna be no other than my bad boy himself, Blizzard. Of course, Blizzard, in the 3rd sea, you're going to be doing a lot more PvP content, and like I said before, Blizzard is insanely good for PvP. It allows you to escape a bunch of different situations. If you guys are wondering why my damage is so low right now with Blizzard, this is why. I'm level 1 Blox Fruit, still doing a decent amount of damage with it, but all things considered, this fruit is really good for grinding, it's really good for PvP. It'll allow you to escape a lot of situations that you wouldn't have otherwise, just because of the actual mobility of the fruit, combined with the fact that you just go like, oh my gosh, someone's attacking me, and then you could run away after using the sea and move of them. So yeah, it's overall just going to be a pretty good fruit for the 3rd sea. Nothing amazing, but nothing bad either. Now, I just wanted to put this quick snippet in here, just in case you guys don't want to be swapping fruits every single sea. The best overall fruits to have, no matter what sea you're in, is going to be started off with Buddha, Light, and then Magma. Each for their own reasons. Each of them are really, really good no matter what sea you're in. And quite frankly, I would recommend getting all of them leveled up if you guys can. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want more tier list content, let me know what you want to see below. And hope to see you next one, guys. Bye-bye.